Hello folks, in this video for PropertyLink we're going to cover how to create a new property and a management company at the same time and then import a couple of diagrams. So I'm in the property view on the top left. I'm going to select new at the top right and I'm going to call this Holly Street. And you can go ahead and fill in the rest of the address info throughout here. And for management company, I'm going to create one from scratch. I don't have one created, as you can see from this drop down, so I'll just hit new, take me to the same menu you would see if I was creating this from the management company menu. So I'm going to create a fictional company here. So I'm going to go with Green Star. And the purpose of this is just another way to, if you work with multiple management companies, and you can create the various ones, and then attach those properties to the correct one. And you can see down here at the bottom is that there's a login account. Just like we can log in and place orders internally, this is one of the ways that management company can have their own login. They can have multiple logins that we'll show in another video, and they'll be able to log in from their portal, the same address, but because we have the roles and permissions in here, they can have access just to their properties, even depending on the user. So if it's a specific property, they can just log in and see those properties and place an order anytime they want. This is one of the huge advantages of PropertyLink is for a vendor or a property management company, whoever it may be, to be able to log in with their own credentials, see what only they're available to see only what they are allowed to see, and then place an order. And then me being on the other side, maybe as an admin for the company, the flooring company, I can see the order they placed, approve the installation date, verify the order, and go from there. So this is where we can create all that login information for them. So I'm going to go with @youtube.com. And don't make your password as simple as mine. And just hit save and finish. Now it's selected, and like we created already, I'm going to attach my pricing contract for this particular property. So, for example, when the Green Star property manager logs in to place an order for a unit that we're going to import, he will only have access to the specific contract that we have agreed to with him for the Holly Street contract. So the pricing, everything like that, that's all he'll see. He won't see the larger database or any other pricing contracts for that matter. So again, you can fill out the rest of this data as needed. Hit save. So now I have a property. So, we can always spruce it up and add a photo here just by hitting the pencil icon. We can edit that same info and hit add photo. So I upload a photo, hit save. Let's see it upload real quick. I have a nice little cover photo from the actual property. So now our next step is to go in and select the units or measure square diagrams from my cloud to bring it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Holly Street right here. And we have our nice, very easy to read dashboard. So we have our units, quotes, and orders, and we have a similar menu at the top along with our bid packages that we'll cover later, and our pricing contracts. So again, this is our pricing contract that we attached earlier, and this is also an easy way to double check everything in here, and we can edit from this menu as well. So if you need to change the price from within here, you don't have to go to the original pricing contract menu. And also, if you need to disable a product temporarily from here without deleting it, you can easily uncheck the enabled, so it won't be accessible as well. So if something's out of stock, easy way to control that. Let's go back to dashboard, and actually let's go to our units, and we're just going to concentrate on importing from M2. So right now it accesses the two diagrams I have on my cloud. So this is accessing everything that's available to my cloud. If you have sharing functionality set up on our cloud, you'll be able to see other people's diagrams, and you'll also be able to see where they're coming from. So if you have different branches, things like that, you can easily see those by the owner account or ID. So we're going to go through two imports to show two different methodologies of how we can bring in projects that both have multiple tabs, and one is going to have each tab as its own unit. The other one is going to have the same unit with variations. So let's start with the Passavilla right here. Hit next. It's going to scan and bring in all the estimation data and diagram info from our cloud. And you'll see that we clearly have the exact same units, but it's different product applications. So we have carpet in the living and bed, plank in the wet areas, carpet in beds, plank everywhere else, plank throughout. And then we just have a custom blank one. So we can bring in all of these together as one unit, since we've already created those variations with a mesh square. So a very common setup. So I'm going to select all of them. So you obviously have the control to select just the ones you need. Hit next. And this is this next step is important, as this is how we can differentiate between the two. So we're going to do both workflows. You'll see we have an option that says all tab as a unit, each tab as a unit. So in this case, these are all the same unit, but different product types. So you have the choice of bringing them in individually or as one. So just to see what that looks like real quick, each tab is a unit, splits them up, and then you can even click on these and edit these if you need to. But we're going to go back to all tabs as unit. We'll go through the next workflow completely right after this. Hit save. And now you'll see that we have one icon in here, but you'll notice importantly down here it says plans 4. So when I click on this, now we'll see each variation. We'll see some basic estimation data down here. And then once we get into the next part of our workflow and one of the next videos, this is where we can access or create new orders, new quotes, and so on. All right, so now that's option 1. So I'm going to go back into units, go back into import from M2. And we're going to select the Holly Street for this example, hit next. All right, and so now you can see the difference with this one. Clearly these are 4 different units, but they're all from the exact same project file. So now I'm going to select all of them again, hit next, and in the next step I'm going to select each of these tabs as its own unit. So each tab as a unit. So I'm going to hit that instead. Now it will split them up individually. Again, we can edit the names here if we need to. If there's a different naming scheme we need to employ, we can go ahead and again just click on these areas and easily adjust them. So now from here I'm going to hit save. And now you'll see each one of these is split up into its own icon as far as the visuals go. But when I click on this original one, if you remember, this will take us into the menu where we see each one. Now when I click on, let's say, this 2-bed, 2-bath, 2.2D as the unit variation, we only have this one alone, and then we have the drop down to go through our order or quote process. So these are the 2 options to bring in a plan. Now we also have the option to rinse and repeat this whole process. We can continue to combine and split up different diagrams through importing. If we happen to have this exact same floor plan with a different product layout, so maybe it's planked throughout, but it just happens to be in a different file, you can always go to add plan from the top right and go through the exact same process again. We'll add it right in here, and now it will say 2 plans instead of 1 when we're looking at the unit screen. So when you're in a unit, you can always bring it in and you'll see this number adjust. So those are the multiple very easy ways to bring in the diagrams, and it makes it very easy to set this up in the proper way.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more great content like this. Thank you and happy measuring.